Thank you for joining us on Eyewitness News on the Wax. Grab your jacket. We're gearing up for another cold morning.
All right, it's still very, very chilly out here today, but I think we got a little light at the end of the tunnel here with some average and above average temps, as Jill was just talking about. Something to get excited about here on your Wednesday.
Yeah, don't miss the bus here. It's cold. You don't want to sit any longer outside. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Caitlin Francis. Let's get straight over to meteorologist Jill Gilardi with some of that good news. Today is the first day of that 40-degree average high. We're not going to hit it.
No, yet. Eventually we'll. And I'm not being like sarcastic, like, oh yeah, of course we're going to be eventually warming up.
We'll take it.
It's a part of our 7-day.
That's fantastic.
Many days of our 7-day when we get, Sunday and beyond. So we still have to deal with the cold in the short term, but there's, yes, that light at the end of the tunnel, something to look forward to. But right now, though, we're bundling up again with that feel to the air, as cold as 1 below in Salisbury. So it's generally feeling in the single digits outside. We still have a gusty wind. I was making my coffee this morning. I'm like, I hear the wind chimes. While they mostly sound beautiful, you know that it's creating a colder feel. All right, so we have the breeze, 15 to 25 miles per hour. It is, yes, a bright start, a very beautiful start to the day in Old Saybrook. Now, the pretty view we've been enjoying this morning is out of Middletown, just a few scattered clouds. And again, the wind chill trend today is one that's a little better than yesterday. So we'll get into the upper teens for that feel. The wind won't be quite as strong. The thermometer readings will be well below average since the normal high now is 40 degrees. We're going to be in the mid and upper 20s. So that Arctic air still has a hold on us. And eventually, though, it is not. And we're going to start to see a warm up and above average temperatures, especially going into next week. So change is on the way. It's just going to be a slow process for us. So we're going to get to the good stuff, talk more about that, and that brush with a little bit of snow for Thursday coming up here in the next 10 minutes. But let's get an update on traffic with Caitlin. I know you've been busy. Is it still busy out there?
Yeah, unfortunately dealing with a couple of first alerts here this morning. Jill, good morning, everyone. 7:03 if you're heading out the door. Breaking first alert here in Farmington, 84 eastbound between exits 36 and 37. The right shoulder is closed, unfortunately, though the damage is done for that early morning commute. We are working to get some updates on exactly what took place here from Connecticut State Police, but you can see we've got a tow truck with those bright flashing lights there, State Police on scene as well, and some delays through the area. So if you're traveling into the Hartford region this morning for work, this is going to slow you down. We've got a slow down as well in Bridgeport 95 southbound. This is between exits 30 and 29. Right lane there is blocked off, and traffic is very slow going on the southbound side. So if you're adding in some of those typical delays down through Fairfield County, this is going to increase your drive time. So we'll get you another update just coming up here in a few, but as we leave you, we're going to leave at those drive times. You can see those slowdowns on 84 eastbound and 95 southbound. That's a quick check at your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, taking a look at a big story happening today. Michelle Troconis back in court to face a judge on a contempt charge after she was accused of showing a sealed report during her murder trial. It is a story that has made international headlines. Troconis has been convicted in the death and disappearance of Jennifer Farber-Dulos and is serving time in prison. Today's court appearance comes with a trial that looms next month.
Today, some lawmakers will take a look at a plan that could limit how much your kids use their cell phones at school.
Your reporter Luke Hydash has more from New Britain, where a cell phone policy is now in place.
Yes, good morning. Students here in New Britain, they're used to this, at least in the middle schools. When they show up, they have to put their cell phones into one of those pouches. They're locked, and then they get it back at the end of the day. Could some variation of that, something similar, be coming to schools across Connecticut? It is a possibility. In a new bill, lawmakers have proposed each public school district limit smart devices in the classroom. Specifics would be up to each district. Many districts have similar plans already, like the middle schools here in New Britain, implemented earlier this year. The governor is in favor of a cell phone ban. The pouch system seems to work well for many districts, as cell phones have proven to be a major distraction for students. There's a public hearing at 10 this morning at the Capitol. If this clears all its hurdles, it would go into effect July 1st. Your reporter in New Britain, Luke Hydash, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Right, today, city leaders in Hartford will announce new recommendations based on a report that looked into the state of education in the capital city. The Blue Ribbon Commission will team up with the mayor to announce a new action plan to improve the educational experience for both students and educators. The commission is made up of community leaders, teachers, parents, and lawmakers, and it's been doing research for the last 7 months. We'll learn more about the plan during today's announcement at 11.
Well, at 7:05, Hartford parents say that there needs to be fewer educational barriers for low-income families. They say parents should be able to decide where their children go to school. They also want more tutoring options and after-school programs, adding their concerns need to be addressed while the city is looking for a new superintendent.
All right, we have brand new information on a developing story out of New London this morning. A car crashes into a house, forcing 3 families out of their homes. You can see here that a car drove into the front corner of a large wood apartment building. And you can see that scene that our cameras rolled on just after 11 o'clock last night. The car is damaged after it hit the side of the building. There were no injuries, thank goodness. The Red Cross is helping people impacted, and police are investigating.
In New Britain right now, we are still working to get an update from police after a crash caused serious injuries. You can see heavy emergency presence here on your screen. This is a look at what our cameras captured along Route 72 westbound right near exit 2 last night. That road shut down for more than 6 hours to clean everything up. But if you're getting ready to head out the door and hit the road here this morning, things are back open.
We now know the identity of a father from New Haven accused of killing his girlfriend and his son. Javon Fletcher has been charged with 2 murder counts for the deaths of 19-year-old Haley Miller and his 2-year-old son. They were both stabbed to death in an apartment this weekend in West Haven. Police say Fletcher was found outside the apartment after jumping out of a window. He's being held on a $3 million bond.
And this morning, a man due in court in Hartford accused of stabbing his father to death early last month at a motel. 49-year-old Raven Hokum is charged with murder. Police say back on January 4th, he got into an argument with his father, 78-year-old Vincent Hokum, right outside the Travel Inn Motel on Weston Street. He's been held on a $2 million bond since his last court appearance, which was January 6th. The family of a Connecticut man who died in that deadly mid-air crash in Washington, D.C. last month is taking the first steps to sue the FAA and U.S. Army.
Casey Crafton of Salem was one of the 67 people killed when an American Airlines flight and a U.S. military helicopter collided in midair.
Lawyers submitted a claim to the federal government on behalf of his widow and children, seeking $250 million in compensation. That claim appears to be the first against the U.S. government over the crash in what's expected to be a lengthy legal battle. Well, families in the New Haven area will soon have to shell out more money to keep the lights on, maybe even the heat.
Yeah, we're already starting to hear from folks who are not excited about this announcement. United Illuminating Leaders just announced a rate hike that will go into effect in the near future. Your reporter Marcy Jones has more from New Haven.
That's exactly right. Well, anytime that you see higher numbers on this monthly bill, your stomach just kind of drops, especially in light of everything seemingly being more expensive these days. So let's break down this increase and the impact that it could potentially have on your families. We're going to pull up the map of exactly where this is impacting UI customers. You can see here on the screen the increase is starting in May. The state mandated a $30.1 million increase for the public benefits charge, meaning UI customers will likely see a 26-cent increase on their monthly bill if they use around 700 kilowatt hours per month. Even though it's not a massive increase, it comes at a time where almost everything is more expensive and many families are struggling to keep up with increasing monthly bills. Back out here live, the chairman of Pura, Marissa Gillette, will actually be up for reappointment tomorrow. Now, Pura is the authority that actually sets all of the electric rates for everyone across the state, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. If she gets that vote, then it turns over to the lawmakers for their final approval. Your reporter in New Haven, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Good morning, everyone. We are going to be talking about a painfully cold feel that continues outside. And also a little brush with snow on Thursday. And then we get to the good stuff, above average temperatures starting on Sunday. So something to look forward to. But right now, just enough of a breeze. Again, the gusts, as we were telling you, weren't going to be as bad today, but there's still a wind, enough to create that colder feel. So this is what you need to dress for. Most locations feeling in the single digits, some spots a little bit colder than that, especially the northwestern corner. Forecast today, according to the First Alert Weather app for the Hartford area. For example, again, it will feel cooler out there, so pay attention. That feels like temperature through the app, but the thermometer reading upper 20s, so we are significantly below average. It might get to about 30 degrees, close to that, down towards the shoreline. So cold weather across the entire state, but remember, it's not going to last long. We're timing up the warm up for you coming up in the next few minutes. Tracy?